Thank you so much, Josh. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jordan Frias, and I am the treasurer of the Jeffries Point Neighborhood Association. Happy to see you all here. As Josh had eloquently said, you guys are the record buttons on. So if you guys want to take your camera off, that's fine. Change your name. Just a heads up, this is being recorded and will be available after the meeting. But I just want to introduce myself. My name again is Jordan Frias. I'm the treasurer of the Jeffries Point Neighborhood Association, and I want to kick it off to my board members to introduce themselves as well. Josh.
Hey, I'm Josh Schmidt. I am the secretary of the board. Susan?
Hi, I'm Susan Huang. I am the co-chair and I'll be taking notes tonight.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. So today's date is June 10th, Monday, and it is 7:05 p.m. First, I want to recognize our elected officials or representative elected officials. Please raise your hand if you're here today. I see Sebastian Parra from Councilor Gigi Flores Zapata's office. Am I missing anyone else? Please raise your hand if I am. Going once, going twice. All right. So
Yeah.
now move it on to kick it over to Susan for the announcements. Susan.
Hi, everyone. We have a couple of announcements to make. The JPNA would like to thank local business, Grain Architectural Millwork, for donating multiple bags of clean wood chips to place around the new tree plantings at Brophy Park. The trees were recently planted by Tree Eastie through a partnership with the Boston Parks Department. Please do your part to help the trees become established by discouraging your pets from watering the roots. Next month in July, the JPNA will not be having a Zoom meeting. We will instead have our potluck celebration. This annual get-together is a great way to see friends and meet neighbors. The JPNA will provide drinks and desserts, and all are welcome. The event will be held at the Golden Stairs Terrace Park on Monday, July 8th, and will be from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. If you look at Jordan's Zoom background, he has a beautiful picture of it right behind him. And as part of the July potluck, we are launching our annual raffle. 100% of the proceeds from this fundraiser cover the costs of running the JPNA, and that includes like Zoom and website hosting fees and event costs. This is our main fundraiser of the year, so please buy tickets early and often. We are still accepting raffle items if you would like to donate. We have some great items from the Quiet View, Smoke Shop, Eastie Fit, and a few others. The raffle site will be up and running this week. Winners will be announced at the potluck, and you do not need to be present to win. Our next announcement is that the Sumner Tunnel closure is coming. It will be fully closed from July 5th through August 5th, and while the tunnel is closed, the Blue Line will be free and the ferry is also running. And so please check out mbta.com for more information. And speaking of July, Eastie Week is also coming. This year it is scheduled for July 14th through the 28th, with the Eastie Cruise scheduled for July 16th, and then the JPNA movie at Brophy Park on the 26th. And for our last announcement, as we mentioned last month, we are starting the election process. We recently had one person step down and another person is not running for re-election this year. This announcement is the first of a 3-month election process. So this month we are announcing that there will be an election in August. If anyone is interested in being on the board, we encourage you to nominate yourself or ask someone to nominate you in August. This would be for a 2-year term and a seat on the board, and there's flexibility for which position you would have. If you have any questions or would like to learn more, please feel free to reach out to any board member or email the board at board@jeffriespoint.org. Jordan, I'll pass it back to you.
Thanks so much, Susan. I see we have Sergeant Santolo with us, so I'll kick it off to him for the public safety announcement, police presentation. Officer Santolo, Sergeant Santolo, my apologies.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Officer Alvarez is going to give you the update, and then I'll be here to answer some questions. I just want to give a quick couple of fraud awareness reports. They're still ongoing. We still need to spread awareness, especially to our seniors. But very quickly, victim stated that she was looking for a job online. Suspect contacted her through text messages to hire her to work as a housekeeper. Victim stated the suspect asked for her passport information and $2,000 US currency for deposit in case of property damage when she starts. Okay, you can guess where the rest of that story goes. She's out $2,000 and some of her personal information has been taken. Okay, another one was an unknown male voice on the other end of the phone stated that he was with an unknown charity a police foundation. A victim sent $35 over, but did provide that person with a credit card number. These are things that I just keep repeating over and over and over. So we need to spread this awareness. Please don't give anybody a credit card number. It's not very smart. So here you go. You can do the report, and then I can circle back if anybody has any questions on those. You're gonna unmute yourself, I think, bud.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Officer Alvarez, I have a couple of robbery reports to update you guys. On May 31st, one of our officers was on patrol on Ponder Street. He was waved over by a victim who stated to him that while parked on Ponder Street, by the park there, an unknown male gained entrance to the rear of his vehicle and decided to demand for him to give him a ride over the bridge towards Chelsea. The victim, in fear, exited the vehicle and left some loose change and a few dollars in his console. So the unknown male took the money and ran away. But prior to this incident, a radio transmission had been broadcast from the state police, indicating that it was an alleged attempted carjacking at Logan Airport, and turned out to be that the same suspect that attempted to rob this person at Conde Street, there was a person that attempted to carjack the vehicle in Logan. The officers circled the area, were able to catch up with the suspect and apprehended him and made an arrest. So he was arrested for an armed robbery and attempted carjacking. I have another robbery that took place on May 28th, and this is on the 19th Maverick Square. We had a victim that came out of the MBTA station, and while walking on Henry Street, that's behind the 7-Eleven, he was approached by two unknown men who grabbed him from behind. He believes that he was someone put a knife on his back, demanded for him to give up his wallet, which he complied, and they took possession of his wallet, where his credit cards and some U.S. currency, and they ran towards Lopresti Park. We canvassed the area, but nothing was found during that incident. We had another robbery. This is on June 7th, and officers responded to the robbery at 230 Meridian Street and spoke to a victim. The victim reported that he went to the bank and withdrew $240,000 from Berkshire Bank. He immediately drove back to his business at 230 Meridian, and while parked in front of the business, and he was engaged in a telephone conversation with two unknown men wearing baseball caps and police badges. They stated to him, "Hey, we're with the police. You have a warrant. Get out of the car." He was pulled out of the vehicle, and these two men entered the vehicle and drove towards Border Street, where they disposed the victim's vehicle and got away with a large sum of money. This case under investigations. I can't talk too much about that, but that was a major robbery that we had. That was last week. We had a stolen package on June 6th out of Saratoga Street. So packages is always something that is ongoing. So keep in mind, that's something you have to be really careful with. And that's all I have for now. If you guys have any questions.
Thanks so much, Sergeant Santolo and Officer Alvarez. Do we have any, if you have any questions for them, please raise your hand.
Yeah, I don't see any questions in the chat box.
I do have one question for everybody. Is anybody close to the tall ship? We haven't received many complaints this year. I was just wondering if anybody's close by, how they feel about it this year.
Can you say that again, just for everyone?
Yep, the tall ship. Just checking in. We haven't had many complaints. Usually in years past we have. I just want to check to see if they're, if they're annoying anybody with the music, or has it been an issue?
I do have one complaint that's from our email. I don't know if anybody else.
We do have one person, but So if you want to respond to that email, we did send Sergeant Shikalek down Friday night. He went to Haynes Street, where I think that caller, the complainant is from. He didn't hear any sounds. He responded to the tall ship. They did live decibel readings, which was 57, which is well below the 88 decibel measure. So we are checking. The issue is they're below the decibel level. So even though it could be annoying, that's something that has to be addressed with City Hall going further. But they are under the legal decibel level.
Got it. Okay. And then we do have somebody who said from Brigham Street, so far so good. So as long as they kind of keep it under that 80 decibel, I guess.
They're well below, and they are very good to work with, and they lower it if we ask them to lower it, and they check it every hour. So they're good to work with, and if you have any complaints, let me know. We can go over there, and I'm sure they'll address it.
Sure. Okay.
Josh,
thank you.
can I chime in really quickly? Sergeant Sandolo, I live right across the street at Portside. I will say it has been a little better than previous years. I think my main complaint was a few weeks ago when they had that huge car event at 8:30 in the morning on a Saturday.
And the engines being loud?
Extremely disruptive to the neighborhood.
Yep. Time event, 8:30 a.m. Yep, I'll definitely address that with them.
Thank you.
And
yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so somebody with that, so.
Well, thank you so much, Sergeant Santolo and Officer Alvarez. We really appreciate the update.
You're very welcome.
I hope you can stay on if you want, but if not, have a good night.
Okay, I'll stay on.
Thank you. I forgot to recognize that we also have Marcela Lopez Romero from Adrian Martio's office here tonight. Am I missing any other representatives or elected officials? Do we have anyone from the mayor's team? Is Manuela here by any chance?
Yeah, I don't see Manuela on here, and she's not in the waiting room. I don't know if you want to wait or kind of move on.
Come back to her, but I don't know if I know that. I think she's actually doing I don't know if she started a new position, but she's having a new position, I guess. So I don't know if there's a replacement for her yet, or if anyone's here from the mayor's team.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I guess we'll skip that for now. Thank you, Josh. I'll go on to Monica Laserna from La Esquina Verde, 389 Maverick Street, development projects. Monica, are you here?
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Awesome.
I do have a little presentation if I'm able to share my screen. Is that all right?
Sure. Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, great. Well, I'll keep it brief. Thank you all so much. It's really great to be here. Last time I was actually presenting at Jeffries Point Neighborhood Association was for Eastie Farm. So that was a long time ago, but it feels really great to be back here with you all. Just start from the beginning. So we're La Esquina Verde. We're a new food venture in East Boston at 389 Maverick Street, and where Tawakal used to be. And so I'm just going to take you through kind of a little bit of the history of the space, how I got to the space, and then what we're working on. And this is with me. My name is Monica Laserna, and also my business partner is named Ricardo Monroy. So just to give you kind of a sense of what Esquina Verde is, we're really a local food hub focused on sustainable practices. Esquina Verde in English is the green corner. So we're right on the corner of Jeffries and Maverick. We are going to be painting it green. But really the green Esquina Verde is about sustainability and really putting that in the forefront. So we'll be offering really three things. Cooking classes. My background is in education. I have a master's from Columbia University. I've been a teacher for 15 years. Ricardo is also a culinary arts teacher. So we'll be doing a lot of cooking classes, catering and meal plans, and events. We'll have public events, we'll have private events, and we'll also have some pop-up chefs joining us. I also put here under public events something called Public Kitchen, which is a program through the Design Center for Social Intervention, which is a group out of Dorchester. I've been doing trainings with them, and this is something that we'll be bringing to Esquina Verde. So just to go back in time a little bit, this is when I arrived to 389 Maverick, was the winter of 2014, so 10 years ago. And before I had La Sanguita, there were a couple of businesses, but I think the most, excuse me, well-known and popular was Mama Blanca, this pizzeria. So I just want to acknowledge, all of the wonderful businesses that have been there before me and all of the great work that they've done and the great clientele that they've brought. So this was 2014 when I arrived. This is me and my business partner, Adrian, at the time, and really just hit the ground running. We started in the winter. This is actually the day we got.
Why are you down here? I want you guys upstairs right
Sorry,
now.
I think we have, Brian, I think you're unmuted.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
Okay, back on mute. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm putting the kids to bed.
No worries.
That's
worry.
okay. That time of night, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Monica, continue.
No worries. Yeah, so this is when we first got all of our permits. This was December 7th, 2014. And this is kind of what the layout looked like. Some of the folks that work there. We have Renee and Brittany. And it was really just a wonderful time. But I also was completely new to the industry and learned a lot of lessons throughout the years. 2015, we really kind of hit the year going. You can see some familiar faces. We had a lot of events. I started selling some of the local produce that I was getting. And this is also the year that we started Eastie Farm. And Eastie Farm was started through an RFP, request for proposals, with the Jeffries Point Neighborhood Association. Conan and I put together a proposal, and many years later, now Eastie Farm is a well-established nonprofit. But this was just the very beginning. 2016, we really started working on the original site of Eastie Farm, 294 Sumner Street. You can see me here harvesting some lettuce. This was the year that the East Boston Soup Kitchen started. So we were helping a lot with that. You can see me with Sandra. We were making some of the food. We had some great pop-up chefs like Ali from Banh Mi, Ali Fong, who's also part of Eastie Farm. And then also CCDS, the Center for Cooperative Development and Solidarity, also started meeting regularly and became formed there at the space. 2017, you can see this great photo. I don't think it needs a lot of explanation. My pipes broke. And at that point, I really wasn't financially sustainable at all and couldn't really afford to even fix the pipes. That's also the year that I met Yahaya through Ali and kind of volunteering at the soup kitchen. And that's when we started talking about him taking over and bringing Tawakal. So from 2018 to 2023, I rented the space to Yahaya for Tawakal. And you all know he has great food, great Somalian food, and was able to open up a new location at MIT in Cambridge. So this is where we're at now. This is me and Ricardo. And I just want to tell you a little bit about our story, how we met, and some of the work that we've already done together. So I met Ricardo. I am very passionate about cooperatives. And we met at a barbecue, at a co-op barbecue in Cambridge. And he was the head of the Take Back the Kitchen program at Haley House. So Haley House, for those of you that don't know, is a nonprofit in Roxbury that has been around for over 50 years. They do a lot of really beautiful work. And one of the programs that I really love and that I got to participate in is called Take Back the Kitchen. And so they hire professional chefs in the community to do affordable cooking classes from anywhere from children in preschool to senior citizens. And this was just a really wonderful experience for me. I got to work there from 2017 until the pandemic, when they stopped doing classes in person. But I learned so much, and I also got to get to know my business partner, Ricardo, who is a really incredible instructor and manager, because he really managed that program. And in this corner here, Haley House also has a farm. So a lot of the produce, like you can see this kid with this big thing of Swiss chard, most of our vegetables were coming from the farm too, which was really wonderful. The other thing that we did at Haley House was the community tables. Community tables was once a month doing a free community meal for anybody who wanted to come. Usually it was about 40 people, but then once a year we would do one for about 300 people. And that was also just an incredible experience. After that, I started working actually not after that, simultaneously, I also became the head chef at Page Academy. Page Academy is an Afrocentric preschool in Roxbury. And you can see here one of the founders, Brother Joe. And what I really loved about this school is that it really integrated outdoor education, farming, and food. So we did some cooking classes. This was, you know, I always joke and I say this is where I really became a chef because, you know, when I had my restaurant, on a good day, I'd get about, you know, 50 customers. And at Page Academy, it was 250 kids a day, breakfast, lunch, and snack, plus 40 staff. So really cooking at a scale that I had never cooked at before. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity. You can see the truck here. We would pick up about 1,000 pounds of food a week. And when I decided to leave after 2 years, I was really grateful to pass on the baton to Burke Weston, who's also an East Boston resident and a really fabulous chef. In 2021, I started coming back to Eastie after being away for a while and having these experiences in other neighborhoods. 2021 is when we started up our summer school again. And so I became the head teacher for that summer, doing food systems, doing cooking, and just having a really great time. And also helping the kids adjust, you know, to kind of our new normal, right? You can see we have masks in some of the pictures and, you know, obviously pandemic was very stressful for a lot of families and children. So now we're here in the present. So I just want to tell you a little bit about our plans. So we hope to be opening in a little over a month, so mid-July. We'll be using the space from around 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., give or take about an hour or so, later or earlier. We are hoping to use the space as much as possible because we really want it to be a space for the community, for pop-up chefs, for people who are interested in doing events. So we're saying about 5 to 7 days a week. Right now we are in the middle of a campaign to help pay for some of our renovations. So a little shameless plug for this. If you're interested, it's newmarket.co. You can see the address here. Newmarket is a platform for food businesses, and essentially you're pre-selling your services and your food. And what's nice is that you actually get 120% back in credits. So if you give $100 to the campaign, you get $120 back. There's been a few food businesses. I know East Boston Oysters and Co. They did a Newmarket campaign to open their shop. So there've been a couple of places in Eastie that have used this, and it's really helpful for us. Right now, we're making improvements and doing some light renovations, but we're not changing the layout. You know, we're saying it's a development project, but it actually right now is really just a new use of the space for this business. But the actual physical space is not changing. And right now we're in the planning stage, and we have begun teaching some classes, doing some cooking classes with Maverick Landing, which has been really fun with some of their senior citizens. And this is really just, I wanted to, you know, be very clear about what the benefit is to the community. So I will just read the slide. Hacienda Verde is committed to benefiting the community by having an affordable and accessible commercial kitchen available, as well as affordable and accessible events and classes. We're collaborating with nonprofits like Maverick Landing, Eastie Farm. We're actually featuring their CSA. We'll be doing a CSA supper club, which I'm really excited about, and others. And so we're also kind of in this process of building partnerships. We'll be giving a portion of our profits to support local nonprofits and initiatives. So every class, every event that you come to, a portion of the profits are going to go to a nonprofit, but also we really want to highlight and showcase the nonprofits and community organizations. And I think this also really comes from, you know, just getting to know Eastie. There are so many incredible organizations, so much amazing work happening, and we really want to support that work and highlight it and build it up. And we're very committed to health and well-being of East Boston and beyond. You know, for us, really being a hub of local food is really important, and also local prepared foods, right? So we'll be working with Eastie Farm and their CSA and really, you know, helping folks kind of figure out new ways of making dishes with local produce. And also, of course, promoting and educating on sustainable practices. Ourselves, we have our specialties, but we also will be bringing in specialists to talk about sustainability. For example, the architect who designed the geothermal greenhouse for Eastie Farm is somebody that we've been talking to about coming and doing some workshops about green architecture. And that's it. Thank you all so much. Gracias. This is just a quick example of some of the food we made last week with our CSA from Eastie Farm. And I'm happy to take any questions you might have. And stop my share.
Thank you so much, Monica, for that presentation. Definitely want to support you in your endeavor. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions for Monica? And please raise your hand if so.
Yeah, we usually like to just let you know, Jordan, and for everybody to know, we usually like to have everything kind of in the chat, and then I speak about it.
Okay.
So I'll just answer it verbatim and everything. But while we're kind of waiting for people to be able to post, I did have a question. So you said that there's kind of like a partnership with the CSA. Um, so how's that going to work out? If you get the EC Farm CSA program, would you be entitled to some of these classes, or is it kind of like separate, or do you have to buy a different bundle in order to do the classes?
That's a great question. Yeah, so we're still working on the details, but I think what will probably happen is you'll get a discount to the cooking classes if you are part of the CSA, but also we'll have some events specifically for the CSA members as well. So like I know they did the kombucha class the other day, things like that, like specialty classes having to do with whatever's in season.
Okay. I actually do have another question in the chat. So, will there be any food for sale at the location?
Yes, so there will be food for sale. We're kind of working out the details, but it'll probably be like an open fridge grab and go situation. But then we'll also have a meal plan, so you can sign up ahead of time, and basically pick up a whole week's worth of food. That's something that I did at my restaurant before, and it seemed to be pretty popular with some folks. So we'll have the meal plan, and we'll also have some prepared foods on site as well.
Great. Oh, and somebody did ask for a clarification on what the CSA means with
Oh yeah,
EC Farm.
sure. Yeah, so CSA is community supported agriculture. So most farms will, during the summertime especially, sell a box of vegetables on a weekly basis, and you just kind of get whatever is local. So I think it's a sliding scale with Eastie Farm from $25 to $50 a box per week. But it's a great value. You get so many different things from many different farms. They work with the Boston Food Hub, which is also connected to the Boston Gleaners. And they work with, I think it's about 12 different local farms. So you're not just getting produce from one farm, you're getting, local mushrooms from one place and kale from another, and they kind of package it all together. So it's pretty cool. I like the Eastie Farm one because most places it's just you're getting from one farm and you're a little bit limited, but Eastie Farm is working with lots of different farms and putting it all together. So you have a variety.
All right, very good. Thank you. Got two others that are a bit more like comments instead of, just to show support. So one person said, "Love this. Good luck."
Thank you.
The other person says, "Alyssa needs to teach me your veggie burger recipe. It was her favorite. Welcome back."
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so we will definitely be having my signature dishes. The veggie burger, we're going to be having veggie burger classes, but we'll also have that for sale as well. So thank you all so much. This was really great. And I appreciate the time.
Monica, before you leave us, do you want to remind folks how they can support you now or add
Sure,
anything?
I could actually am I able to put the new market campaign in the chat?
I think so. I think Josh can share it if you
Okay.
do. Right, Josh?
Yeah, I can post to everybody in the chat. So if you just send me any of your contact information, I can go ahead and.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I just put the new market and then I'll put our email as well. LaEsquinaVerdeBoston.com is our website. So I'll give you that as well. Boston.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Monica, and thank you, Josh, for
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
best of luck.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I think we're moving on to the 8 Webster Avenue vote, if I'm not mistaken. Does that sound right, Josh and Susan?
Yep, we're going to have Allison Cartwright for Suffolk County, well, for just Supreme Clerk, Clerk, but she is running a little bit late and we're a little bit ahead, so we were gonna do Webster, right?
Awesome.
Webster.
Yeah, if you guys can help me out with that, how to announce the voting, that'd be great. I'm just not that familiar with this process, to be quite frank.
Sure, I'll try my best, but
Thank you.
yeah, I think we should have the presentation first. So, Jade, if you want to just go over your presentation, doesn't have to be long, and then we'll just have some questions if there's any available, and then we'll just talk about the voting process.
I think we have Chris for the presentation.
Okay.
Christopher? Chris?
Yes. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very good.
Did you want to run through the presentation real quick?
Sure. We are just basically trying to renovate 8 Webster Ave. It's a single family house. We're leaving it as a single family. We are just trying to finish the basement, obviously update the whole inside, and add some rear decks and a roof porch. If you scroll down to the next page, this is what it looked like obviously when we bought it, very outdated. If you go to the next page, these are basically just showing an outline of the existing plan and what we're doing. So if you look at the first one, that is basically the basement plan, just adding a half bath and a finished room, basically for entertainment and utility area. The right side of that is the first floor, just a basic open floor plan with the kitchen and living area. If you go to the next slide, again, it's the second floor. Existing is the left one. The next one is how we plan to do the second floor with the deck in the back. Then we have the third floor, which is also just a renovation, how it's going to look, the deck in the back with stairs leading up to the roof deck, which is the last on that picture. You go to the next slide. These are just the exterior views from the front and the rear. Existing is on the left, and then the next one would be how it would look. You go to the next slide. Side elevations, basically how it's going to look. You go to the next slide. And that's basically it. Just updating everything to be up to code, obviously, electrical, plumbing, HVAC systems, and all that. Next page. That is my daughter and her future husband that we are trying to renovate and have her move into the lovely neighborhood. And I think that's it on the presentation.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
I guess the only question I have is just is there going to be any need for any sort of like temporary disposal kind of canister, essentially, that, you know, like I live closer to 560 Sumner Street, and I can tell you over and over again that was a constant point of annoyance with me and my neighbors, that they continuously did that without a permit and without any notice, and it took 3 parking spots.
No, so usually with where we would get the dumpster for this project would be on the corner of Webster Ave and Sumner. Usually we would put one dumpster there at the right at that, basically the beginning of the opening there. We will get permits from the city of Boston, put the notification up 48 hours in advance, but we won't keep it there like for 2 weeks or 3 weeks at a time. It's more like it's just going to come. It'll be there for like the 2 days that would be needed to just empty everything out, then it'll be gone. And then if we need another one, it would be kind of like that. We won't leave it there for, the project might take 4 months. We won't have a dumpster there for 4 months. It's not fair to the neighbors, and it just really wouldn't need to be there because it would just be sitting there not filling up. So it would just be kind of taking up space for no reason.
Okay, thank you for that. Susan or Jordan, do you have any questions? I still don't see any in the chat.
Chris, sorry, what is is there a variance that's needed for this, right?
Yeah, I think just because of the rear deck and the rear deck and the roof deck, we need to have a variance, so we have to go in front of the BOA.
Okay. Thank you for that.
PPDA, yep. Okay. Susan, since do you want to be able to kind of talk about the voting rules, or I can do that?
Sure. So 8 Webster Ave will be going up for a vote this week. They previously presented at one P&Z meeting. To be eligible to vote tonight, you need to be present at this meeting and also one of the meetings in the previous 3 months, so March, April, or May. If you are eligible to vote, you will be receiving a ballot via e-ballot by Wednesday at 5 p.m. And then the ballot will close this Friday at 7 p.m. Additionally, if you are in a butter within a 300-foot radius, you are eligible to vote if you are at this meeting tonight.
Yep, and we'll announce when we tally everything out, we'll announce the results of the vote on the board, and then we'll present a letter to the ZBA with our results. So, yep.
Perfect.
Okay. Yep. So I guess we're now at 7:41, and we don't know if Allison is on time or not, do we?
There's just an email that she's just running a few minutes late.
Okay.
Before we kick it over to Allison, I don't know if we have any representatives of elected officials who want to give any updates. Anyone from Rep. Modero's office or Councilor Cleta Sabata's office want to say anything?
No update at this time for us. Thank you, Jordan.
Thanks so much, Sebastian.
Same for Rep. Modero's office. No updates that I can think of at the moment.
As you can tell, it's budget season.
Yes.
Everyone's quiet. Thank you both. And I was told that Manuela from the mayor's team is actually on break, so she's going to be with us today.
Yep. Well, yeah. Just as a matter of update, I do have a little bit more information on the Sumner Tunnel update with the 2 public information meetings. There should be flyers available. I'm going to try to post those, but yeah, that's obviously the next light because even though it's only closed for a month for 24/7, it is going to be closed over several weekends, including every weekend in June, and I think for quite a few after that. So just be on the lookout. So yeah, I think the 2 meetings are tomorrow and on Wednesday.
Thank you for that, Josh. Appreciate that.
Just trying to fill the space. Oh, I've got 2 more messages.
I was gonna say also, if anyone here on this Zoom tonight wants to help out with the potluck, Josh and I would love to help. So feel free to just reach out to Josh or myself, and love to have you help us out for the potluck.
Yeah. And if you want to, when you bring food, just make sure that you put any of the ingredients on it, for any sort of allergies. But I did get a question: is the Blue Line free on the weekends in June? And I think the answer is no. But I don't know if Sebastian or Marcella know better.
And I don't believe it's free over the weekends during the closures, but it's my understanding that it's gonna be free during the full month closure,
Mm-hmm.
as well as the ferry.
I agree. I think that's true also, but I'll double check and we'll round back with that information.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hoping we'll have Allison join us soon. I know she had another engagement before this one, but sounds like she'll be coming on soon.
Yeah. Just trying to see if there's. Oh, she got endorsed by Mayor Wu 5 days ago.
I think she was also endorsed by maybe a few city councilors and maybe the AG, I want to say, AG Campbell as well.
Nice.
Yeah, Josh, I don't know if you want to put in the chat before Allison joins us. Maybe she has like a campaign website so people can familiarize themselves with her.
Oh, yeah. I should have said that. Yeah, we did include that. What was there any? Weren't we supposed to have? Weren't we supposed to have a shipyard update today? But I don't think that was ever confirmed.
Yeah, I don't see Charlie here in Tall Ship.
I apologize that we didn't update our agenda when Charlie was not able to show up. Okay. Yep. I'll add that for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, if everyone wants, Josh is going to share more information about Allison before she joins us. So feel free
Yep.
to click on that link and familiarize yourself with her before she does so. And I also want to acknowledge we have been joined by someone from Councilor Henry Santana's office at large, Adosa.
Yep. And here's Allison. So there we go.
Perfect.
Good timing.
Welcome, Allison. How are you?
I think she's just she's muted for now.
Welcome, Allison. How are you?
Hi, I am well. I apologize for the delay. I'm coming out of another meeting, so thank you.
Happy to have you.
So happy to be here.
We'll kick it over to you. Allison, is there a presentation, or are you just gonna kind of speak about yourself?
Okay. So yes, hi, good evening. I'm attorney Allison Cartwright. I'm running to be your next clerk of the Supreme Judicial Court in Suffolk County. I am running for this role because I 100% believe in our court system. I believe that it needs to be fair, equitable, and accessible. And in fact, I have built my 30-year career, most of which as a public defender, on those three principles. And I really think that at this point in time, our democracy is at a critical juncture, and we need to ensure that our courts remain independent as they should be. I also want you to know that I have a lot of experience in the courts. As a public defender, I'm a trial attorney. I have been in courts throughout this Commonwealth. Like I say, definitely in Suffolk County, Norfolk County. I've been as far west as Springfield, as north as Haverhill, as south as Attleboro, and other points south. I have practiced. I've had a couple of cases on Martha's Vineyard. So I do know courthouses. I know the role of the clerk, and I appreciate the role of the clerk. And as I have said in other forums, without the clerk, the business of the court just does not happen. The clerk is the lifeblood of the court. The clerk is the bridge between the public and the justices. And that's the role that I would be best served in. I know the difference between how much the clerk can do, and particularly this clerk as an elected official. This clerk is accountable to you, the people, the voters. I would recognize that. This clerk also has to walk that line of also serving the justices, our state's highest court. And I'm ready for that responsibility. On my 30 years of being in and out of courtrooms, I don't need a lot of on-the-job training. I just need to know whatever nuances this court would want and the justices would need. But other than that, I can hit the ground running. I don't need to hire attorneys to do the job that you would hold me accountable for. I can do that job. And if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to tell them, or I can talk more, whatever is your pleasure.
Thank you so much, Attorney Cartwright. We appreciate that you taking your time to be here this evening and introducing yourself to us. While we were waiting, Josh did put in the chat your campaign website, so I hope folks had a chance to click on that and come up with any questions. Do we have any questions in the chat, Josh?
Not yet, but yeah, Marcella just updated that there's been, as of now, there's no blue line has not been free during the weekend closures. So just I have that there, but
would you like me to talk more about some of the things this particular clerk does?
Yeah, that was actually going to be my question was, what would you consider as maybe the two most important roles for the Supreme Court, and the reason why, legal experience is so important there?
Well, in this particular clerk handles the single justice session. That's an emergency appeals session. And legal experience comes in handy when folks have to file those petitions. And this clerk has to make sure that they meet the threshold requirements to be in that session, and to assemble that record in a way that is appropriate for the justices. And even in the event if the justices have, this clerk could be able to have conversations with justices if need be on procedure or legal issues. Not that I'm saying that this clerk in no way makes the decisions, but should that be something that the justices would like to toss around, this clerk would be able, as an attorney, would understand that.
Great. So that was one. Do you have another role that's also important?
this clerk is also responsible to swear in new attorneys to the bar. And why is that important? It's important because that's a welcome. You're welcoming all of these people who have spent at least 3 years plus undergrad, but they have spent 3 to 4 years of very rigorous study, followed by taking a bar exam. Some folks don't always pass the bar the first time. I did. I was lucky, but I know people who have struggled with that and may have had to take it 2 or 3 times. So it's quite it's a very, very rigorous exam. And this is the clerk who's saying, you did it, welcome. Welcome to this thing we call the bar. And I would be welcoming someone into a privileged group that I am a part of. It's not easy, but I can understand that. I can share in that. I can welcome them in. And I think that's a very important thing. And it's a highlight to really what's the beginning of a career. But at that particular moment in time, it's a very special event for not only the new admittees, but to their family, their friends, and the people who came along that journey with them or witnessed it. So I think it is important that that this clerk be an attorney. And I also think when you look at any time the justices have had their say in hiring clerks, the clerk for the Commonwealth, the counterpart to this clerk for Suffolk County, the justices require that this person be a member of the bar at least 10 years and have progressive managerial experience. When Maura Doyle, our current clerk, came into office, it was because her predecessor had stepped down. And the justices got to choose what is essentially an elected position, but they chose an attorney. So every time they have the opportunity to speak on this, they want an attorney in this role. And that is what I am. For 30 years, almost 32 years, I have been an attorney. And I think we ought to at least listen to them and pay some attention to that and understand it's not being in any way elitist, it's being practical, it's being real. This is our state's highest court, and it deserves to have an attorney in the clerk position.
No, that was great. And you actually answered my second question.
Sorry.
No, that's great. No, my second question was going to be, can you give an example of something of a important legal issue where it would have been a problem if you were a politician instead of an attorney? So thank you for sharing that.
Sure. And I think that this is just really, although you have to campaign, I would have never seen myself in this situation, but for this is how you get this job. It's really not a political position once you're in it. You cannot be political. You cannot make promises. And the only promise I will give to you is I will be fair, equitable, and make the courts accessible and make myself accessible. So that's the only promise. And I make that promise to everybody, not only the voters of Suffolk County, but all of the people of Massachusetts, because this clerk does serve everyone.
Josh, do we have any more questions in the chat?
No, I don't have any other questions, but maybe we can wait an extra minute if somebody has something after all of that.
Yeah, I can ask a couple questions to Attorney Cartwright.
Okay. Go ahead.
So thank you again, Attorney Cartwright, for your time.
Sure.
Just so you know, you're being recorded, so other people will be able to see
Yes.
this like later on if they missed it. And I hope you can come to our July 8th potluck celebration that we're having here.
Would love to. I'll make sure that my campaign manager knows to put this on the schedule. Thank you.
July 8th at the Golden Stairs Terrace Park at 6:30 p.m.
Which is
Uh,
right behind.
which is that picture behind me, this park. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, it's a beautiful park. Hope to see you there in person. A couple of questions. Can you give us like some, I guess, how would you grade outgoing clerk Doyle? And can you offer some more insight on how you're different than your challenger? Like, other than being an attorney, what do you offer that your challenger doesn't offer?
Okay. Um, Outgoing clerk Doyle has gets very high marks. She has really elevated that clerk's office. When I talk to, for example, appellate attorneys, even within my own agency, everyone has good things to say. They like the way, the direction that the clerk's office is headed in and has been heading in for a while. So I would continue with that progress. And what sort of differentiates me from my opponent, besides my legal experience, also my managerial experience, I manage full professional adults. I currently I'm responsible for at least 75 staff across our offices in Suffolk and Norfolk counties. That staff includes attorneys, investigators, social service advocates, administrative support staff, interns. So I bring a wealth of management experience with me. And prior to being a managing director, the position I currently hold, I was attorney in charge of the Roxbury Defenders. That staff was at least 25, 27 people. Again, same types of folks: attorneys, investigators, social service advocates, administrative support, interns. And even before that, when I was a bar advocate, I was a supervising attorney, and I was responsible for, oh my goodness, there were a lot of different responsibilities in that, including mentoring, putting on workshops, doing performance evaluations for attorneys. We had to do those on a very regular basis. Being the conduit between the bar advocate agency and the courts. And if judges or courts were having particular problems, they knew to come to me. And so I bring that wealth of management and supervisory experience with me. So I think that's something that definitely sets me apart. And I am not a politician. Like I said, this is the only way to get this job. And unlike a politician, I cannot offer anything beyond, the fairness, the equity. Oops. Oh, beyond being fair, equitable, and making the courts even more accessible. I'm also keenly aware of some things, challenges that the courts are facing right now. And I would bring that as well to the position, and the ability to speak with the Chief Justice and the other justices about issues that are taking place in the courts across the Commonwealth.
Thank you so much for that answer, Attorney Cartwright.
Sure.
Josh, anything in the chat?
No, just somebody asking if we were going to invite all of the candidates to our JPNA events, which the answer is we try.
Thank you, Josh. Any other questions? Anything else, Susan or Josh?
Well, I tell you what, if I am able to make your potluck, which I really hope I am, people can also ask me questions there. I will make myself available for that in addition to sampling food.
We got some great food
Yeah,
here.
so do you have any contact information or anything for your campaign that I can share with the general group?
Oh, yes. Do you want our website?
Oh, I think Julia just
Oh,
sent
okay.
everything. So there we go. She beat me to it. Yeah. No, thank you so much for your time today, Allison. Really appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate the opportunity. I really do. And again, I apologize. I was going from one event and coming to yours. So very, very happy to be here this evening.
Happy to have you, Attorney Cartwright. Thank you so much for your time. Feel free to stay or go if you want.
Okay, have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Bye, Attorney Cartwright.
Bye-bye.
I also just wanted to make sure. So I saw Adosa here from at-large Counselor Santana's office. Did you have any updates for us, Adosa, by any chance?
Good evening, everybody. Adosa Osemenge from City Councilor Henry Santana's office. I currently do not have any updates. I'm here to take notes and bring it back to the office. But I'm happy to be here, and thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And going forward, we'll add you to our list of in our normal agendas. So we make sure that we recognize you going forward. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think we just have the vote then, I believe, for on the agenda for 8 Webster Ave, the presentation we heard earlier today. Is that right?
yeah, and to address another comment in here, we will definitely ask Charlie to come before us, maybe even get us some answers at the potluck if we can get them for that. But definitely try to get some answers beforehand on any updates from the shipyard and from the tall ship.
Thank you for that update, Josh. Yes,
Okay.
we have 17 people on it. I believe it's just the vote that we have left. So is that right?
Jordan, so the vote will
Yes.
be via e-ballot. So people who
Oh,
are
yes.
eligible to vote will get an email by Wednesday at 5.
So if
Thank you for
we're
that.
all if we're all good, I'll stop recording and everybody can have some extra day and time in their day.
Yeah, I want to thank my colleagues Susan and Josh for their help tonight. I want to thank the everyone here for being on the meeting, and I guess I'll motion to close the meeting tonight. Second.
Seconded.
All right, everyone in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting over. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great evening. Appreciate it. See you at the potluck.